Justin Trudeau's treatment of women. I'm Brian Lilley with TheRebel.Media. We all heard Prime Minister Trudeau, when he was sworn in along with his cabinet, asked why it was important to have an equal number of men and women in the cabinet. And he said simply, because it's 2015. Well, now we're getting another glimpse at how Trudeau treats women. We already know that while he appointed 15 men and 15 women, 5 of those women received junior cabinet roles and much lower pay. Not a single man received that type of appointment. While in the House of Commons this week, Michelle Rempel, a Conservative MP, the critic for immigration, and a strong MP, a strong voice for her people, stood up to ask a serious question in the House of Commons. It wasn't a loaded question. It was a simple question on, well, how the government is handling the Syrian refugee issue. Listen to the mocking tone and laughing way that Immigration Minister John McCallum dealt with the question.
Mr. Speaker, the minister hasn't said if other citizenship and immigration service lines would be impacted by the government's arbitrary year-end target for their Syrian refugee initiative. This is troubling to many Canadians who have pressing applications in other streams. So, Mr. Speaker, have any visa officers been displaced from other duties, including processing spousal sponsorship applications, to meet the government's self-imposed timeline for the Syrian refugee initiative? And if so, how many?
Answer it. Honourable Minister of Immigration.
Well, we're into sunny ways. I would suggest my colleague look a little more cheerful. But in answer to her question, and I will give an answer, I can assure her that my department has assured me that no people have been displaced from other refugees. There will be no impact on their entry.
Plenty of Liberals joined McCallum in laughing after his answer, including Justin Trudeau. Trudeau was seen laughing heartily at Rempel. As she pointed out in her point of order after question period, she asked him, "Are you laughing at me?" Here's Rempel rising in the Commons to make her complaint.
Earlier in question period, I asked the Minister of Immigration a fairly important question that I think he could have engaged on in any number of ways. But the basis of the worst logical fallacy that you can make is the ad hominem attack. And in saying that I should look a little sunnier, and I'm being heckled now as I raise this point of order, given that you yourself, Mr. Speaker, said that this Parliament should be about how we conduct ourselves as parliamentarians, I think that while I would question whether or not he would have said that to a man in this place.
It's 2015, guys.
I would ask you, Mr. Speaker, if you would consider asking him to apologize as well, Mr. Speaker. And I will admit, I became a little heated after his response, and I asked him that question here. The Prime Minister also laughed at me, and I asked him, I said, "Are you laughing at this?" And he said, "I'm laughing at you." My colleagues here saw that. Mr. Speaker, I would ask both of my colleagues here to stand up and apologize on behalf of all women in this place.
The Minister of Immigration, which is rising to respond.
Speaker, my comment was intended in a light-hearted way to celebrate the arrival of the refugees this evening, but I understand it could be taken a number of ways. I understand now, on reflection, I should not have made it, and so I am happy, therefore, to apologize for that comment to my colleague.
Now, I will give kudos to John McCallum. He stood up and said, yes, I meant it this way. It could be taken many ways. I see the error of my ways now, and I apologize to my colleague. But Trudeau? No, Trudeau didn't apologize. Trudeau smirked and laughed his way through the entire affair and didn't offer an apology after mocking a fellow member of Parliament. So much for setting a different tone in the House of Commons, so much for sunny ways, and so much for treating women with respect. I think that Justin Trudeau knows better than this, and I think he owes Michelle Rempel an apology, one that should come sooner rather than later.